Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play WazHack. So we're starting over with a fresh character here, and I'm tempted to try one of the classes I don't use very often, maybe something like the Rogue or the Thief. I've had a couple of requests for the Bard. We did briefly dabble in the Bard recently, but I'm not entirely comfortable with using it. Maybe I'll try the Druid. Haven't done a Druid in a while. Or Druidess. Let's do a Druidess. Okay, so let's tweak the stats around a little bit. Do I really need that much charisma? Probably not. I guess a bit more dexterity is probably a good trade-off. So we're going to be Maurice the Green. And let's jump in here. Literally jump in. Okay, so we have a cat. What do we start off with? We have headband, whatever. Immutable, I think, means it can't be morphed into other things. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it means. We've got some -3 shields, which are probably not hugely beneficial. I don't know why we've got 3 shields. Some food, wand of polymorph, and a sickle. That's about it. I mean, it's not a great selection of stuff to start off with, but actually a wand of polymorph isn't a bad starting item. So let's try unequipping the small shield which we're currently carrying to see if it actually... because it's a -3, it might actually benefit us to take it off. Yes, it did. Wow. What a foolish druidess, bringing 3 shields with her which actually harm her survivability. Okay, so we're going to need to give an order to our cat. 2 dogs might be too much for a cat to handle, so we'll have to wade in there ourselves, but we do need the cat's help. There we go. Is there any food on the floor? There is food on the floor, so I'll pick up the jackal meat. Yeah, I might as well pick up the plumed helm. Can't hurt. Well, it could hurt, of course. In WazHack, anything can hurt. Okay. Amulet. So, that's something which it might be worth using an identify scroll on if we get the chance. Although, as you're probably aware if you've watched many of my WazHack videos, I tend to favour these days identifying wands instead. Basically just for their emergency escape potential. But we'll see. We'll see what we find as we go along. With pretty high intelligence and wisdom, I'd imagine the Druidess is going to be a reasonable spellcasting class. So let's try reading this spell book. Just see if we can. Cure sickness. I mean, it's not going to be a game-changing spell, but considering how easy it is to accidentally sicken yourself, it's certainly something worth having. I don't feel bad about that as a first find on the spell front. Okay, kitten's dead. That's not so great. I was hoping it would take out the pink blob, but it looks like it was taken out by a kobold instead. So let's try to deal with this kobold. Jesus Christ. Wand of Polymorph is probably not going to be beneficial. No, thought not. That was just an unlucky run there, I think. I'll quickly identify our stuff, see what we had. Helm of Telepathy, Worthless Glass, Amulet of Restful Sleep, Scroll of Create Monster. Okay, let's try that again. I will give another Druidess a go. Again, I'll take some points out of Charisma. Only 1, apparently. We already have pretty high Dexterity, so I'll take 1 point out of that, and I'll bump up Wisdom and Intelligence a little bit, in the hope that we can actually make a go of spellcasting here. So I assume we're starting off with much the same stuff again. Yeah. This time none of our shields are cursed as far as we know, but I will indeed remove that shield. And as before, have the cat attack here. Hopefully it'll survive a little longer than last time. Don't want the crude dagger. I will take the red cloak though. Cloaks can be beneficial. And another spellbook early on. We seem to be doing pretty well on the spellbook front in these 2 runs. Hopefully we'll just be a little luckier when it comes to surviving enemy attacks this time. So let's have a read of the spellbook. Create Monster is not what I was looking for. I'll hang on to the book for now. I might get a chance to sell it at some point. But in all likelihood, we'll probably have to drop it because it will be just burdensome. It's frustrating as well that we've ended up trading our Cure Sickness spellbook, which was actually pretty decent, for this crummy Create Monster spellbook. Let's try this one, Torn spellbook, with the pages actually flapping out of it. Absorb Curse, not great, not one of my favourites. It is useful for getting curses off items, particularly items you've already equipped, foolishly, but as you're probably aware, if you're at all familiar with WazHack or my videos on it, Absorb Curse actually inflicts damage on you, so you have to be very careful with it. Okay, what's next down here? A sleeping kobold. I will send the cat in. Okay, cat actually one-hitted the kobold. That's pretty impressive. And what's in this chest? We've got Iron Skull Cap, Green Gem, Glass Wand, Curved Sword. Iron Skull Cap... I think metal armor affects your spellcasting ability, so we probably don't want to wear that, but I'll take it for now. Green Gem could be an emerald, could be a gas stone, or it could just be glass. Glass Wand could be anything. Curved Sword, I think, has a higher than average chance of being some kind of exciting sword, so I think it's worth taking that. We do have a couple of scrolls, so let's try them out and see if one of them is an identify. Teleport. Sadly, it's actually a guided teleport. I say sadly because it's a shame to waste a teleport scroll which allows you to choose your destination like that. Okay, cat, let's go. Yeah. Apple's fine, of course, for curing sickness, now that we don't have a spell to do that. Oh yeah, there was another scroll as well, so let's read that. Create Monster. So I have a spell of Create Monster, and that was a scroll of Create Monster. Clearly, creating monsters is going to be the theme of this run. Cursed Black Gloves. Of course, I probably don't want to put them on, but we do at least have Absorb Curse if we do find ourselves absent-mindedly putting them on. Okay. Wow, okay, we need to be a bit more careful. Almost got killed there by that goblin. So, is there any... There's no goblin meat, but I will eat the jackal meat. I'm reluctant to eat the kobold innards, basically because they're usually poisonous. And up until we died with our previous druidess, I was going to remark that we can eat food with a bit more impunity if we have the Cure Sickness spell, but of course we now don't anymore. Okay. Rats don't worry me too much. Even a druidess should be able to handle a rat. No? I spoke too soon. Okay, no rat meat. So we're going to have another quick rest. More rats? Seriously? It seems like all the enemies here are coming from behind us. So let's have our cat attack it. Oh, come on. Okay, well at least we gained a level out of it. That's something. So, what level up ability do we want? Magic Precision, of course, is good if we find ourselves actually using magic, but since the only spells we have so far are Create Monster and Absorb Curse, that's probably not worth the bother. Literacy could be good if we find more spellbooks, but we can't guarantee that we will. Animal Forms is basically the unique power of the Druid and Druidess, so it might be worth taking that now. I'm not entirely convinced that's the best choice, but it has to be worth a try. So, better have the cat attack here, and I'll back it up if possible. Potion of Invisibility. Cat, are you going to help out here or what? Okay. Okay, still no goblin meat. Cat, I need you to take out that yellow blob because it'll confuse me. Okay. We have, what's that? A bow. I mean, it could be worth taking the bow, I guess. Wow, we really are just seeing a lot of enemies coming up from behind us in this run. Which is a little bit strange. So, we need to jump over this, really? Okay. Yeah, no useful spell books. I mean, we do have some potions, which we could probably do with identifying sooner rather than later. Kitten, I need you to help out. Oh, Kitten might not be able to reach it. So, let's try flinging some stuff. Extra healing is not at all what I was looking for. I could try quaffing some of these, but they could be anything. I don't think we have any scrolls. We don't. Oh, come on. Being finished off by a bat is just ridiculous. Okay. I mean, I guess we could take animal form and hope for the best. So, let's try Soldier Ant. Is that going to work? It did work. Okay. So, I better pick up the stuff that I dropped, which is basically my clothing and weapons. We're slowed a bit because we don't have huge carrying capacity in ant form, but we'll have to cope with that. Could do with reading the spellbook, really. Let's return to human form. Immediately equip our clothes, just in case something toddles along to attack us. And have a rest. Rest until healed. Or rest until a goblin wanders in. Same thing. Any goblin meat? No goblin meat. So, let's have a read of this new spellbook we just picked up. Hope it's something good. Seems like it's too hard. It was taking too long. Generally, you can tell if you're going to find a spellbook too difficult to read, because it'll take a long time to read. So, if you pay attention to it and time it correctly, you can actually stop reading it just before the confusion effect takes hold, and thereby spare yourself the confusion of having read a complex book. Okay, so let's send the cat over here. I'm going to rely on the cat to... Don't want the kobold innards. I'm not eating the kobold innards I've got already. Going to need the cat to take out the blob for me. Again, I don't want it to have a confusing effect. There we go. Another level. So we can't take another level of animal form until we've taken a level 2 of something else. Mycology is tempting, but we haven't seen any mushrooms yet. So I think it's going to come down to either first aid or gastronomy at this point. Although literacy... Level 2 literacy would allow us to read that spellbook we just picked up. Level 1 literacy would at least enable us to know what it is. So I'm going to go with literacy. First aid, of course, would allow us to heal more quickly, and gastronomy would give us a bit more food. But I'm hoping we're actually going to run into some more spellbooks here. So let's have our... Oh, our cat's out of range because it's confused. Get back here, you stupid kitten. Come on. I need you to fight for me. Cat! Stop running away! Seriously. Attack stuff. Actually, should I maybe give the cat some innards? Would that work? I mean, I guess it would probably just poison the cat, so maybe not. Oh, and they're rotten anyway. Probably not the best idea. Yeah, I suspect the cat might actually be starving to death at this point. Okay. That's probably why it's running away, I reckon. Either that or it's just taken too much damage. Alright. So, I probably don't want 3 blobs of yellow mould goo, but we do need to eat, so I'm going to eat a pear. In fact, I'll eat a few pears. I didn't want to pick up a crude dagger, that was a mispress. Okay, there we go. And I'll feed a pear to the cat. Will a cat eat a pear? Is that a thing? Do cats like fruit? What, I can only feed it potions? Seriously? If you say so. Okay, so let's have our cat attack the kobold. And a few people have told me several times that I should probably give things to my pet to identify whether they're cursed. So let's actually try that and see how well it works. I'll give the red cloak and both of these iron skull caps. And the glass wand. And the curved sword, actually. Give all of them to the cat. Hopefully, now the cat will be able to judge whether they're identified. Apparently that's a thing. You may have noticed that we've just identified the spellbook of Identify. So that would be a very handy spell to be able to use, because then we could identify anything we want without having to rely on scrolls. But it does seem like it's too difficult. Still, I'm going to give it a try. Too hungry, apparently. Come on, read the spellbook. Can we do it? Can we do it? Come on, come on! Too advanced. Somehow we're not confused, which is novel. I'll eat the snake meat. I probably should have given the snake meat to the cat, actually, but never mind, eh? Come on, cat, will you help out here, please? Okay, so... did we get rat meat there? We did not. I did press the pick up key, but it wasn't clear whether there was anything to pick up. Okay, we probably need a little bit of a rest. We are in a state of hunger, but it's not too bad. So, let's roam down here a bit. We've got kobold innards. So, how about I feed these fresh kobold innards to the kitten. Hopefully it won't poison it. I'll kick this chest open. And it contains some boots, some more boots, gems, a scroll and an axe. Not bothered about the axe. And I will give some of the stuff to our cat. The boots, basically. I'll also try reading the scroll. Scroll of Identify. So, you may have noticed, just as we were doing that the kitten seems to have vomited up some boots onto the floor. And if you look at the message log, kitten drops a cursed pair of soft black shoes. So, the cat has identified those shoes as cursed. Anyway, we just read an Identify scroll, so let's see what some of our stuff is. Unfortunately, the stuff I wanted identified is in our kitten's pocket at the moment, so that's not great. So, let's identify some of the gems, I guess. Red gem, worthless red glass. Green gems, worthless glass. Fantastic. Okay, Spellbook of Healing. Again, it might be too difficult for us, but I'll try. Yeah, that's taking too long. So there are two spellbooks I actually want to use. Identify and Healing, and they're both too challenging for us. That's frustrating. But if we can get level 2 literacy, then we'll be able to read both of them. So, I think that's probably going to be the next pick. Holy shit, Firestone. We should be able to get to that Firestone and pick it up before it blows, hopefully. I don't want to drink from the fountain. I want to pick up the Firestone and the boots. Okay. I'll take this staff as well. The staff might actually have a useful magical enchantment on it. So that's something that will be worth identifying when we eventually get the chance to cast Identify spells. So yeah, I think the next time we get a level, the second level of literacy talent is probably going to be our pickup. Let's read this. Nothing happens. At least it wasn't a fire scroll. I live in fear of those when I read something blindly. I really hope we get a chance to learn Identify soon. I didn't mean feed. I meant attack! What a pair of things to get confused. Sorry, did I say feed? I meant attack. At least it's not the other way around. Okay. There are no other stairs or anything. We're going to have to pass this. I'll try sneaking. We're at least not wearing any heavy armor or anything. But I'm not optimistic. Seems like we made it. Close the door. No, there was a kobold. I saw it. Okay. First, kitten, attack the kobold. And now, because we're kind of being flanked, I'm actually going to take animal form. I'm going to be a killer bee. And I'll go this way. Wow, okay. So apparently we were one-shotted there. I don't really want to use Wand of Polymorph on a kobold, because that'll probably make it worse. And the cat's off screen, so we can't give it an order. None of our spells are useful. Unless I turn back into an animal. Wolf pup? Yeah, wolf pup worked better. Okay. So, now we will change back. Pick up this stuff. Another scroll of identify. So that's actually handy. We could take some stuff back off the kitten. And then identify it. So, let's equip this stuff. Our clothing. And we do need to deal with this thing. You're weak from hunger. Alright, well, I'll eat a pear. I'll eat some goo. Yeah, I was going to say I probably don't want to eat yellow mould goo, but I'm hungry, so it'll have to do. Okay, we're at least not hungry anymore. So, let's have a bit of a rest. Hopefully this will wear off soon, but maybe not. Not soon enough. And we're just getting hungry again. Eesh, alright. I'll eat carrots and apples, I guess. And then, any meat on the floor? No. I guess we're going to have to just move on here. So I'll give an order to our pet rainbow triachus tetrahedron. And hope it can hold its own. Come on, tetrahedron. Do your thing. Oh, it's already dead. That's the thing with geometric shapes. It's very hard to tell whether they're alive. We definitely have stuff we'll want to identify here. I mean, the bag even could be a good bag. But I'm not going to bother with it. Could be, you know, bag of... Is it bag of holding or something? Could be that. But I don't want to deal with it. Although we do have an identify scroll, so maybe that would be a thing to use the scroll on. Is there any meat here? It doesn't say there's meat. So, okay, tell you what, I'll pick up the bag. I suspect we probably can't use the identify scroll until we've stopped hallucinating. I could be wrong about that, though. Let's give it a go. Seems alright. So, let's identify the bag. Uncursed bag of holding. It is a bag of holding! I think, I could be wrong, but I think this is actually our first ever bag of holding. Wow, okay. So I'll read the other identify, and then I'll get to work on a pulsating wand. I'll get to work on my pulsating wand. Good God. Okay, wand of cancellation. I did not need to know that. But we did pick up a teleportation scroll, so there's that. There isn't a lot more we can do to advance our position, really, until we gain another level and we can actually take level 2 literacy and then read that identify spellbook. Until then, we're kind of stuck just hacking away at things with our sickle. I feel like that's going to be the next play. So anyway, we'll leave it here for today. Thanks for watching as always, and rejoin me next time to see whether we can overcome this hallucination. And actually progress to level 2 literacy and then start learning things like healing and identify, which could, together, be game changers. But we'll see how that goes the next time round. So until then, thanks for watching and bye for now.